I was grown up before I grew up. Like, I came out and had to be a grown-ass man because life was just, it was tough.
From the streets of Boston to the bright lights of fame, George Tyrus Murdoch's journey is one of resilience, redemption, and reinvention. The story of a man who turned pain into power, built a legacy from struggle, and found his greatest strength not in the spotlight, but in family. George Timothy Murdoch, better known as Tyrus, was born on February 21, 1973, in Boston, Massachusetts. Growing up biracial during a time when racial tensions were still strong in America, Tyrus's childhood was far from easy. His parents separated when he was young, and he and his brother faced rejection from parts of their own family due to their mixed heritage. This early experience of alienation left a deep emotional scar, shaping his views on identity, strength, and perseverance. Despite the emotional challenges, young Murdoch developed a strong sense of resilience. Standing out physically from an early age, he learned how to use his size not just as a shield, but as a form of confidence. Sports became his outlet, a space where he could prove his worth through discipline and hard work, rather than judgment or prejudice. In the early 2000s, Tyrus turned his attention to the high-adrenaline world of professional wrestling. Determined to carve out a name for himself, despite having no prior background in sports entertainment, his sheer size, commanding presence, and natural charisma made him a standout prospect from the start. He signed with WWE in 2006, performing under the ring name G-Rilla in Deep South Wrestling, DSW, one of WWE's developmental territories at the time. Portraying a street thug character, he brought raw energy and intensity to the ring, often playing the enforcer type. Though his early run was short-lived, it gave him valuable experience in front of live audiences and taught him the importance of showmanship. After his release in 2008, Tyrus refused to give up. He spent the next 2 years refining his craft, studying the industry, and building himself both physically and mentally for a comeback. In 2010, he returned to WWE with a new attitude and a new identity. Brodus Clay, a nod to rapper Snoop Dogg's real name, Calvin Cortazar Broadus. Since Tyrus had once worked as the artist's bodyguard, he appeared on WWE NXT Season 4, where his mix of power, humor, and personality made him a fan favorite. Although he finished as the runner-up, he quickly became a fixture on WWE television, later joining Alberto Del Rio as his imposing bodyguard. By 2012, Tyrus once again reinvented himself as the E, a brightly dressed, dancing powerhouse who entered the arena to funky music and cheers from fans. Accompanied by his 2 backup dancers, the character became a surprise hit, showing fans a completely new side of the man who once played the tough enforcer. In 2021, Tyrus made yet another powerful comeback to the squared circle, this time joining the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, one of the oldest and most respected wrestling promotions in the world. For Tyrus, it was more than just another contract. It was a chance to prove that he still had what it took to dominate the ring, even after years of ups and downs in the business. He wasted no time making an impact. His size, experience, and charisma set him apart from the competition, and soon enough, he became one of NWA's most talked-about stars. That same year, he captured the NWA World Television Championship, a title that symbolized not just his in-ring prowess, but also his connection with fans who admired his grit and comeback spirit. Tyrus defended the belt multiple times, demonstrating both power and patience, before voluntarily vacating the title under the Lucky 7 rule, which allowed him to challenge for the company's top prize, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. In November 2022, at NWA Hard Times 3, Tyrus reached the pinnacle of his wrestling career by defeating Trevor Murdoch and Matt Cardona to claim the prestigious World Heavyweight title. It was a full-circle moment, from being released years earlier to now standing as the face of a historic wrestling organization. Tyrus's impressive wrestling career and commanding personality eventually caught the attention of Fox News host Greg Gutfeld, who was known for bringing unconventional voices and humor to political commentary. Gutfeld saw in Tyrus not just a former wrestler, but a man with sharp wit, grounded opinions, and a unique ability to mix comedy with common sense. In 2016, Gutfeld invited him to appear on The Greg Gutfeld Show as a guest commentator. It didn't take long for viewers to notice the chemistry between the two. Tyrus's mix of humor, honesty, and larger-than-life presence resonated with audiences, offering a refreshing counterbalance to the show's fast-paced, often satirical discussions. He quickly became a fan favorite, and before long, Gutfeld brought him back as a regular guest and eventually a permanent panelist on the revamped late-night show Gutfeld, which went on to become one of the most watched late-night programs on television. But Tyrus's TV presence didn't stop there. His growing popularity on Fox led to more opportunities across the network. He became a contributor on The Daily Briefing with Dana Perino, co-hosted the show UNPC, and later went on to host Enough Said on Fox Nation, where he discussed culture, politics, and everyday life from his unique perspective. By 2023, Tyrus had fully transitioned from wrestling legend to media personality. That year, he hosted the premiere of Fox News Saturday Night, a variety-style program combining humor and social commentary. Around the same time, he also launched his own talk series, Maintaining with Tyrus, on the digital platform where he explored topics like personal growth, discipline, and balancing fame with family life. While Tyrus built his legacy in wrestling and television, his wife, Ingrid Rink Murdoch, was quietly building an empire of her own, one rooted in discipline, passion, and an unshakable belief in the power of self-improvement. Born on April 24, 1981, in the United States, Ingrid grew up in a family that encouraged independence and hard work. From an early age, she showed a keen interest in health and fitness, fascinated by how the human body could be transformed through effort and consistency. Unlike many of her peers who followed traditional academic paths, Ingrid knew her calling was different. She was determined to make a living doing something she loved, helping others become their healthiest, strongest selves. At just 15, Ingrid took her first formal fitness class, a moment that would shape her future. By 16, she was teaching her own classes, inspiring others with her energy, discipline, and natural leadership. Her early start gave her not only physical skills, but also confidence and purpose. Over the years, Ingrid viewed fitness as a path to empowerment. She earned multiple certifications, studied nutrition and anatomy, and embraced wellness as a holistic lifestyle, balancing body, mind, and heart rather than just focusing on workouts. Driven by her passion for wellness and personal transformation, Ingrid Rink Murdoch founded The Rink Routine, a lifestyle fitness brand promoting holistic health, physical fitness, mental clarity, emotional balance, and confidence. Her authentic approach to workouts, nutrition, and motivation built a loyal following inspired by her drive and dedication. Ingrid and Tyrus began dating around 2014, growing their relationship on trust, humor, and shared values rather than the spotlight. After nearly 6 years together, Tyrus proposed in 2020, calling Ingrid his everything, and presenting a stunning emerald engagement ring. Their wedding in January 2024 marked the start of a new chapter in their journey. Though public figures, they prioritize privacy, focusing on raising their children, nurturing their home, and supporting each other's dreams. Their marriage reflects love, loyalty, and lifelong partnership, the true foundation of their success. In 2019, Tyrus faced a high-profile sexual harassment lawsuit filed by co-host Britt McHenry. After a challenging and lengthy process, the case was settled in 2021, testing the family's strength and unity. Through it all, Ingrid stood firmly by his side, later reflecting, The trauma my family endured this past year is too much to even share. But my husband became an even stronger leader for his family. The Murdochs' home is a lively, love-filled haven affectionately called the Zoo, housing an eclectic mix of fish, snakes, lizards, turtles, and chameleons. Though Ingrid once disliked reptiles, she grew to appreciate the joy and lessons they brought to their children. Now, she manages their bustling household with patience and humor, teaching responsibility, empathy, and respect for all living creatures. For Tyrus and Ingrid, their home is more than pets. It's a place of warmth, teamwork, and shared adventure. Through triumphs and trials, they've built a life grounded in love, loyalty, and faith. Their story goes beyond fame or success. It's about the courage to evolve, the strength to endure, and the unwavering belief that family is life's greatest victory.